Hispanics face many health disparities, and we will discuss one important health risk that you should not dismiss with the Garden State chapter of the National Association of Hispanic Nurses. We will also discuss the rich Mexican cultural traditions that are flourishing in South Jersey. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. Hispanics are more likely to be diagnosed with late-stage colorectal cancer than non-Hispanics, leading to a greater risk of death from that disease. Shedding more light on this health concern is Wilbur Morales. He is with the Garden State chapter of the National Association of Hispanic Nurses. Wilbur, welcome to Latino Motion.
Hi, Bert. Thank you for having me.
And this is an appropriate topic given that this is the month for colorectal awareness, and the National Association is doing their part to bring awareness to this important health concern.
Yes, that's correct. It's Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and the Hispanics are largely affected by it. It's silent, and it's something that we could address to help our community.
So tell me a little bit about what the risk factors are for this disease.
Great question. Risk factors. There's a couple. First one is people age 50 or older, men and women.
That includes me. So
yes, that includes you. And another risk factor is polyps. Polyps are small masses that start in your colon, and polyps could be benign, but if they're not treated, they're not removed, they could turn malignant and can turn cancerous. So those are important to address. Family history is also a risk factor. So it's important to ask your parents, grandparents, did they have any issues with their colon, any stomach problems, any cancers, because that's also a factor. Two diseases that play in colon cancer are ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. Ulcerative colitis is inflammation of a part of the colon. Crohn's disease is inflammation on different parts of the colon. So both could put you at high risk of colon cancer. Diet, a diet high in fat can increase the risk of colon cancer. And also smoking and alcohol. Both cigarettes and alcohol have carcinogens that increase the risk of colon cancer.
So I know you have some statistics in terms of the impact of this health concern. Tell me a little bit about the numbers.
Yes, the statistics with colon cancer for both men and women, colon cancer is the third leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States. Right now, scientists are estimating that over 134,000 new cases will be diagnosed this year. The 5 to 10 year survival rate for colon cancer is 65% for 5 years, and for 10 years it's 58%. So with that said, 90% of the cases could be cured if they're caught in a localized cancer. By localized, I mean the cancer is only in the colon, it hasn't spread. So that's 90% you could survive and be cured. But 39% of those cases are only diagnosed localized, meaning where people are getting cancer diagnosed when it's already at a later stage.
And that's a particular concern within the Latino community who often are not getting the appropriate treatment or going to the doctor for the early detection. Let's talk a little bit about what the symptoms are that we should be looking out for.
Yes, the symptoms could be very mild and could be common symptoms that people experience every day. And we'll start with the first symptom is blood in your stool. Blood in your stool is a sign that there's something wrong. It could be a sign that you're not having enough fiber in your diet, so it's causing extra pressure in your colon, but it could also be from colon cancer. So if you're having blood in your stool and you've already addressed the diet part and you're eating healthier and it continues to happen, you need to address that with your healthcare provider. So that's a symptom. Another symptom is a change in your bowel habit. By that I mean the change in the shape of your stool. If your stool all of a sudden is coming out much thinner than it used to be, or you're going to the bathroom more often, it's a sign that perhaps it could be a tumor there that's making the diameter of the colon much smaller. So that's your body telling you that by the size of your stool that there's something wrong. Gas pain, you could have gas pain if there's a mass in your colon. It's taking room there, so it's going to cause pain and discomfort when gas needs to come out. It's not coming out like it used to. Diarrhea also could be a symptom. Constipation. And then lastly, just nausea and vomiting. If there's a mass and it's completely occluding, meaning nothing could get through, you're going to get a lot of nausea and vomiting, and you'll be in a very serious condition.
It's not. It could be a combination of all those symptoms, or it could be just one of those symptoms. But the important thing is that if you have any of those symptoms, you should get medical attention.
Yes, it's very important to get medical attention. And talk to your doctor. If you address the diet, you're eating healthier and you're still having these symptoms, tell your doctor. And if you have family history of colon cancer, let your doctor know, my mother had colon cancer, my father had colon cancer, so that they're aware that there's a history of colon cancer in your family and it could address it.
We want to talk about the prevention, because obviously there are things that could be done to help you prevent this disease. I want to talk a little more in depth about that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion with Wilbur Morales. He's with the Garden State chapter of the National Association of Hispanic Nurses. And Wilbur, we were talking about the risk factors. We talked about some of the statistics and some of the symptoms that we should look out for colorectal cancer. And it may be a little bit uncomfortable to talk about the subject, and certainly to get the appropriate screening for detecting this disease. But how critical and important is that?
The screening is very critical because it could determine what stage. If you do have colorectal cancer, the earlier it's diagnosed, the higher the probability that you're able to survive through it. So screening, there's multiple methods. And it is a little bit uncomfortable, embarrassing to talk to your doctor about it. But if you think taking the colorectal cancer and diagnose it at an early stage could save your life, so that your family can still have you, so your children can still have you. So it's worth the embarrassment. It's for the moment, and it's just for you. Your doctor has.
Let me tell you, I had it done, and quite frankly, it was painless, and it was pretty quickly because they put you to sleep, and next thing you're done. And it was recommended by my doctor, and insisted you're past 50, you should get it done. But if the doctor isn't recommending it to you, you probably should ask your doctor about it.
Yes. And then there's multiple methods. If you're concerned, One method is just having a acute blood test, which they check for blood in your stool. That's a simple screening. Another one, it's a digital rectal exam, which your doctor will examine your rectum with its digits. And that's just to check if there's a mass, if there's a tumor or anything growing in there. More invasive procedures, colonoscopy. They go in there with a scope to look at your entire colon. There's also barium enema, in which you have a liquid inserted through your rectum to take an x-ray and have a better view of your colon. And there's also a biopsy. If you have polyps, they'll go in there, they could remove them and do a biopsy to see if they're cancerous or not. So those are different screening methods, and your doctor, based on your symptoms, based on your family history, could give you advice on which is the best screening for you at that moment.
Let's talk about other prevention. I mean, obviously, early detection is critical, getting the exams and screening. But what are some of the lifestyle changes that could help prevent this disease?
Well, modifiable risk factors that you can change are things like smoking. You don't smoke. It's got carcinogens, and alcohol also. Don't drink. There's also diet, a diet low in fat. So I know in Hispanic community we like chicken. So remove the skin from the chicken, and if pork chops, you remove the fat from it. Those are simple things that could help.
I still have my hogong gandules with pork chop, but we got to be careful. And the beans are good, right?
The beans are high in fiber, so they definitely help with digestion. Fruits, vegetables help. And breads, try to eat wheat bread, because white bread has less fiber.
And tortillas, instead of the wheat tortillas, you're going to use the wheat.
Yes, that's correct. Use the wheat, because they'll help you with digestion. And also, one very important thing and simple thing to do is drink plenty of water. Water definitely helps with digestion, and it could make things easier for you.
Well, we appreciate you sharing all this information. I just want to touch base a little bit about you as a male nurse, a career that you have chosen. And, it's something that we don't have a lot of Latino male nurses, males going into nursing. Tell me a little bit about your experience and how you enjoy being a nurse.
I became a nurse after my experience in the military. I was in the military 4 years, and we went on a humanitarian mission to Africa. And there we went to an orphanage, delivered food and supplies to the women and children. And I liked doing that, and I felt I was doing something good for them. So I decided to pursue a career in which I would help and serve people. And once I got out of the military, I went to nursing school and became a nurse. And it's been a great experience.
And I know you have your heights set on a new plan. So you plan to go back to school to get your graduate degree as well.
Yes, I'm in graduate school right now.
Okay.
And I just started the program. I have 3 years to go. My goal is to be a nurse practitioner and help. And I have work in the community, continue volunteering with Garden State now, and help in different activities, volunteer through blood pressure screenings, educational, because that makes a big difference on people, and just to teach them and help them.
We certainly need more role models like yourself, and certainly encourage other youth to follow this career path. Thank you for joining us here on Latino Motion, and we'll be right back with more Latino Motion in just a moment.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
My name is Vanya Rodriguez, and I am Reina del Carnaval Putleco 2016. It is important to keep our traditions and don't forget where we're from. As the Queen of the Carnival Putleco, I encourage young Latinas to also maintain their traditions.
Hi, my name is Alexandria Ortiz. Hi, my name is Ariana Santiago, and I am the princess of the Carnaval Putleco in Atlantic City.
Hi, my name is Daniela Cortés Ramirez, and I am the Reina Infantil del Carnaval Putleco 2016. We are very proud to represent the state of Oaxaca.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. South Jersey is home to a large number of Mexicans from the region of Mexico called Oaxaca. One of the groups that is keeping that region's tradition alive here in South Jersey is known as Organización Azteca. And joining me is the president, Nafaki Moreno. Nafaki, welcome to Latino Motion.
Hi, Mr. Bird.
It was good to see the girls just talk a little bit about their pride in being Mexicanas and being part of del estado de Oaxaca. Tell me a little bit about the pageant and how you continue to encourage the youth to be involved in.
Basically, what we do for past 6 years, we invite the girls and the little girls too to try to join this traditional carnival we do. And basically, what we try to do is to keep our roots alive in this side of the state of New Jersey.
You have two competitions, one for the older girls and then one for the infantil. You want to make sure that from a very young age, everyone's aware of their cultural heritage, particularly for this part of the Mexico, which is Oaxaca. And a lot of the focus is on the carnival that takes place in Putla. Certainly there's that rich tradition that you want to keep alive here.
Yeah, because a lot of people of Putla, they live in Atlantic City and Atlantic County. But basically, besides that, we try to keep your national culture alive.
You mentioned Atlantic City, but at your carnival, you also have people come from Long Island, New York, Pennsylvania as well that have assisted and participated.
Right, this is, like I say, this is from my hometown, Putla, but basically a lot of people from all up north, Jersey and south, they come to enjoy this traditional dance we celebrate once a year.
Tell me a little bit about the festival itself. I know that I've been to the event. A lot of customs, a lot of celebration that takes place. Tell me a little bit about what's the meaning of the customs.
Basically, this carnival is part of 3 traditional groups we celebrate. And all the masks and the costumes we use is based on this religion back to many, many years to our ancestors. And basically what we do is try to keep it on, the traditional clothes and masks. And basically, as you one of the special guests, we invite you last couple of weeks ago. We're really happy to see every year the people, try to support these events.
So it seems as it's a big infusion of indigenous Indian culture from Mexico, Spanish culture, and the Catholic faith. That so comes into play. I've seen a lot of the customs also.
Yeah, this carnival actually has got something to do with the Catholic people because we celebrate 4 Sundays before the Easter Sunday.
Let's talk a little bit about the infusion of Mexican down here in South Jersey, and not only is the important to keep the tradition alive, but certainly I know that a lot of what your organization tries to do is to unite the Mexican community as well.
That's correct, Mr. Lopez. Basically, we try and keep working hard year through years to celebrate most of the important festivals through the national Mexican community. And as part of the activities, we're going to get couple of more festivals.
I know that the young lady who's La Reina right now has only been here a year and a half, and then you have the Infantil who was born here and raised here. So you have a big spread between recent arrivals as well as individuals that have been here for a long time, and you feel that it's just as important for new arrivals as the ones that were born here to get to know their culture.
Yes, that's very important for us because we really want to, these girls, especially at this age, they can be in the future the person who in charge to spread our traditions.
And I know you've done a good job within your own family. I know both of your sons are going to college and certainly have progressed in their individual careers. So congratulations for that and helping to maintain the Mexican culture alive here in South Jersey.
Thank you for the invitation, and I hope you keep it part of all this hard work through the community.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us at home once again here on Latino Motion.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.